Hey everyone, Harry here to discuss Donald Trump's imminent, as in 1 week from now, date with New York style accountability in the E Jean Carroll case. You guys, I'm sure, all remember that. She said that he assaulted her many moons ago in the 90s. He came out as president with the incredibly, on top of everything else, just boorish and low life response of no, I don't. She's not my type anyway. A claim, by the way, somewhat belied by his confusing her, seeing a picture of her and thinking it was his former wife, Marla Maples. But anyway, I digress. That's a really strong case that is coming. First, there are two cases, essentially. One is defamation, and Trump did her the favor of redefaming her after he was president. So there's no legal issue left about whether he's acting as president when he is doing it. And the sexual assault itself, New York passed a special law that said victims of sexual assault for which the statute of limitations has passed have a little window to bring the claim, and E. Jean Carroll is doing it, in both of which, by the way, she's represented by a really strong, sharp, aggressive lawyer, Roberta Carter, who specializes in these cases and is just likely to totally be, a killer in the courtroom against Trump. So Trump made a motion to the judge, Lewis Kaplan. Hey, I was just indicted in New York, and it's like the same case, the same kind of, the heart of the two cases are the same. Can you give me, please, a 4-week cooling off period? Okay, it was a far-fetched motion. Most judges wouldn't have granted it, but noteworthy that Kaplan yesterday denied it in a really just completely categorical, very strong motion for Carroll and against Trump. First thing he says is, by the way, if there's problems here, Trump brought them on himself. Second, there's no heartland over, they're both cases have something to do with sex and misbehavior by Trump, but one's a defamation case, and the other that he's been indicted for now is a hush money case. Third, we don't care about cooling off period. Yes, there's tons of publicity, but what we need to do in any event is to find a jury that can be fair. Not, by the way, important to note, because people think that means a jury that is, doesn't know about the case and who could be on such a jury. But that's not what the Constitution has in mind. In fact, it's a jury of one's peers. The model way back when was people who knew you in the community, so were well positioned to actually exercise judgment. So you don't have to be looking for people who've never heard of this. Rather, you have to be looking for people who say persuasively that they can be fair. So E. Jean Carroll case is scheduled and remains scheduled for a week from today, Tuesday, April 25th. Man, is Trump looking at trouble there. So much so, it might be, I've speculated, he can't testify. That's a sort of axiom number one, as I've written before about Trump. So what defense he's going to be able to make is, hard to see. There's a possibility that he just doesn't show up and basically concedes liability, and that, or what he might have done in the past, really try to do a very large settlement. I don't think E. Jean Carroll's going to take it, though. So he might just not show up and concede liability effectively, and then fight it out over damages. The judge here, though, is really holding his feet to the fire. The whole opinion, this is just a little aside that I noticed just now, but he calls him Mr. Trump, not He's an ordinary citizen, but he's made a number of rulings that are going to make trial really torturous for Trump, including that E. Jean Carroll can introduce evidence of other assaults that Trump is accused of in order to show potential pattern of behavior of what he's done here. So, this is just a case that promises to be really brutal, and he's at the end of the line as he does in other places. I think it's of a piece, even though it's not doesn't portend jail, with Bragg, with AG Letitia James, with what is going to be charges, I think within a month or so in Fulton County and Mar-a-Lago on the horizon. He's just, while running for president and, bizarrely enough, being the leading candidate for president, people that know this stuff better than I and that I respect think that he's almost got it sewn up. But he's going to just be this wounded bull in the open field, lurching from court date to court date, and really damaging and ugly court dates. What a bizarre state of affairs for Trump and for the country. Anyway, coming soon. Boom, in some ways the most damaging, because it's actually the trial is happening and he's going to get clobbered in it, whereas the Bragg indictment, for example, it'll be a year or so. So really, really rough business for Trump, and just around the corner, and his efforts to stave it off were to no avail. So it's happening. There you have it. We'll follow it closely when it comes up. I think it's going to be, really quite a killer set of evidence that Roberto Carter is going to proffer, and a very damaging few weeks for Donald Trump. So, talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.